Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Before the Kickoff Podcast. I am James Christopher, joined here by Chase Oliver, and we are here to talk about something that's going on in the NFL right now. What is up, Chase?
Doing good, James. Just enjoying the football season so far. I think it's been a very interesting season in the NFL, especially on the AFC side. It's just been great.
Yeah, it really has been a great season. And right now, I want to know, who is your MVP right now? I mean, we all know about the undefeated Falcons. We all know about Matt Ryan. But the argument is also made for Peyton Manning. Also, some people would like to argue RG3. Who is your MVP right now?
The MVP is an interesting award. Everyone knows that I wrote about Matt Ryan, and I said he's an MVP candidate. But really, to be honest, I got to give this one to Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning, if he doesn't win MVP, is kind of crazy. You know, I did give Matt Ryan a mid-season MVP award, but at the end of it all, I think Peyton's going to win it. The way Peyton Manning has been playing as of late is just excellent. He's taken a team that did go to the playoffs last year, but made them into Super Bowl contenders. The Falcons, there's still a lot of question marks to them, but I really do think that the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning deserve the MVP given to Peyton.
Yeah, you know, going into the season, we all knew about Peyton Manning coming back, and he chose to go to the Denver Broncos. And we were all wondering, would that neck bother him? Will he be Peyton Manning? And without a doubt, this man is Peyton Manning. This man is in the discussion for MVP. He could win it. He's taken a Denver Broncos team that was a playoff team, did get to the divisional round, but did go 8-8. He's taken this team, he's made them into a Super Bowl contender, one of the teams that are our favorites to win the AFC. And they're looking really good right now, and it's all because of Peyton Manning. That defense is not great. He does great things with that defense, but I'm going with Matt Ryan. I'm going with the quarterback of this undefeated Falcons team, and I know he has help. He has Tony Gonzalez. He has Julio Jones. He has Roddy White, but Matt Ryan has just played the quarterback position so well. Even in this last game where he didn't even get a touchdown, but he also did not throw an interception. He's not costing his team games. He's doing a great job using play action. I just think really Matt Ryan has really stepped up his game, throwing really well outside of the numbers, something that he used to struggle with. Matt Ryan, to me, is the MVP right now.
You see, I agree with that because Matt Ryan, he is a good quarterback. I just think at the end of the season, Peyton Manning will pull it off. And also the Falcons, you know, they're already pretty much in the playoffs. They have to beat the Saints, and pretty much once they hit 10-0 mark, they're in the playoffs. So Matt Ryan, near the end of the season, he'll be sitting out some games. We don't know what's going to happen with the Broncos. We all know the AFC West comes down last minute. The Raiders have been playing good football. The San Diego Chargers, when it comes to December time, always like to cut it close with the Denver Broncos. So it's almost as if, you know, Peyton will be playing those games. He'll be playing those final games. While Matt Ryan, he may sit out, let's say 2 games, maybe 3, if they do end up going 13-0. So for me, I just think that Peyton Manning will show why he is the MVP, and we could see the Falcons and the Denver Broncos have similar records with Peyton having better stats than Matt Ryan.
And some other MVP candidates that people are also discussing, J.J. Watt. Now, to me, recently, he hasn't been making as big of an impact as he did throughout the first 4 games. And really, him and Arian Foster really lead that team. If it was one of them leading that team, then they could be in the discussion for MVP. But since really it is a 50-50 thing, J.J. Watt getting it done on defense, Arian Foster getting it done on offense, they'll basically cancel each other out. And for Adrian Peterson, I mean, this guy really has been rushing well for Minnesota. Ponder has been inconsistent as hell. But the fact of the matter is, running backs just simply do not win MVP in this NFL. Years ago, Chris Johnson went for 2,000 yards. His team went 8-8, and he didn't win MVP. I don't see Adrian Peterson winning it either.
Yeah, the thing about running backs, the last running back to win the MVP was LaDainian Tomlinson with the San Diego Chargers. And really honest, when LaDainian Tomlinson won it, he broke a bunch of NFL records. He broke like records that, you know, stood the test of time. So really, and not to mention the Chargers went 14-2, I believe, that season. So really, to be honest, it all depends mainly on your record when it comes down to choosing the MVP. When you have a better record than certain people, you'll win the MVP. Aaron Rodgers, he had the MVP type season. His team was 15-1. but they managed not to win a game in the playoffs. And the interesting thing about MVP, it's cool to have the MVP on your team, but when's the last time an MVP won a Super Bowl? I can't remember the last time an NFL MVP won the Super Bowl. I believe Kurt Warner was the last one to be MVP and win a Super Bowl while at it. I'm not even sure about that. But even then, the MVP award is definitely it's up in the air at this point. J.J. Watt is definitely a valuable contender based off the sacks that he gets. Charles Tillman, another guy that I think is underlooked in the NFL. He could actually be in the running for the MVP with all the forced fumbles that he's getting for the Chicago Bears. I mean, a lot of great players coming out of this MVP race.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic, which is Andrew Luck. And everyone's really high on Andrew Luck right now, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be. But the Colts right now, as of Friday, they have a 6-3 record. They just beat Jacksonville yesterday. They're looking like they're going to grab at least one of the wild card spots, whether it be the 5th or the 6th. They're looking really good. But again, I don't know if I can really trust that. I mean, the really most impressive win, I think we can all agree, was against the Green Bay Packers. But besides that, I don't see a lot of standout victories. They beat Minnesota, which, they started off well, but, okay. They faced Cleveland, which, there's nothing to be proud about. They faced Tennessee, which is nothing to be proud about. They faced Miami, which is actually a good win. And then they beat Jacksonville, and they lost to Jacksonville earlier. I think their schedule has been in their favor, which is why Andrew Luck has also been looking well. I think once their schedule toughens up in this later part of the season, they will start to struggle some more, and we'll see really what Andrew Luck is capable of if he can lead this team to a playoffs. I'm not saying that I expect him to, that I want him to. I mean, after all, he is a rookie. Him winning 6 games is already an accomplishment, but I just think that this schedule has been favorable to them, which is why they've been winning these games.
I agree with the schedule. I think the schedule, really, to be honest, when you looked at the Colts schedule, you would think the only teams that they would really have major problems are the Texans. The Titans were definitely up there before injuries happened to their defense. Not to mention they were facing the NFC North this year, and so they would have to go against Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit, who we thought was going to be a good team, and the Vikings, who came out of nowhere. They were going to face tough teams. They were going to face very tough teams this schedule. And really, I've been impressed with Andrew Luck. I was one of the few people who said that they could win 8 games this year. I didn't say make the playoffs. I said win 8 games. And it feels like that could happen still. I feel that when Luck faces the Texans, that will be a reality check for him. I think that's going to be a game where it's going to open his eyes and say, okay, this is the NFL. I mean, his first game was against Chicago. And then after that, who else has he faced that really is top-notch? Because the Green Bay win, to me, I feel the Green Bay win was kind of more just that, the Packers at that time weren't the Green Bay Packers that we're used to watching. The Green Bay Packers that had Aaron Rodgers throwing to his number 1 wide receiver, trusting into that number 1 wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers was going for the second or third option. There was times in that Green Bay game where Aaron Rodgers bombed it out to Jordy Nelson, and Jordy Nelson could have rushed, caught the ball for a touchdown. To me, I feel that the Packers team that they were playing really wasn't the Packers team we're used to seeing. So, yes, that was a big win for them. But, and honestly, Andrew Luck, I think he's going to do a very good job finishing off his rookie campaign. I don't know if he's going to be Rookie of the Year because there's other guys that can make the case. Doug Martin, RG3, Alfred Morris, RG3's teammate. I mean, there's a lot of people that can make a case, but Andrew Luck is really doing a good job using Reggie Wayne as a safety blanket, getting his younger wide receivers like T.Y. Hilton into the game. And ultimately, though, he's not like Peyton Manning for the Colts, because Peyton would make a crappy defense play better just because of how Peyton played, because they knew that they could drive the ball on offense. So we got to make sure we keep our quarterback happy. I don't think Andrew Luck is on that level yet of Peyton Manning.
Yep, and after that, we go to our Before the Kickoff game of the week, which is the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. Both of these teams have only lost 1 game this season. They're both looking like they're going to grab that playoff bye week, but this is a huge game to see who really can win the Super Bowl this year. Are the Houston Texans legit? Are the Chicago Bears legit? We're really going to see in this game who can really get to the Super Bowl, who can really win the Super Bowl here. Now, to me, I think the the Chicago Bears are going to get it done, win this game. Their defense causes just ridiculous turnovers, and trust me, I am a Tennessee Titans fan, and I had to witness this Bears defense cause 5 turnovers, and it was ridiculous. All right, Charles Tillman is so underrated, it is absolutely ludicrous. This Bears defense just scores points on their own. It's just amazing. 35 points they basically went on to score last week. All right, 35 points from a defense. And once Devin Hester finally starts getting returns for touchdowns, and this team could be unstoppable. The offense has issues, but as soon as they work out that offensive line, the Bears are going to be Super Bowl bound, and I don't think anyone can stop them.
You see, the Chicago Bears are a very good football team. You know, the problem to me, though, is that offensive line, and I think that could be a key factor to when playing the Houston Texans. Now, the thing I say is this. A lot of people are choosing the Texans mainly because the Bears' offensive line problems, and also you see the Texans' D-line. Of course, that's an easy pickup. But what people don't know is that the Bears' O-line only struggled against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is a rivalry game, and when you play a team 2 times a year and you have a long span of history with that team, they're going to know what shit you're going to block. They're going to know what you're going to do. The Texans, they rarely played the Bears. They've never really played the Bears that much. How are they going to know how their O-line is going to block? How are they going to know what type of schemes the offensive line will be doing? Yes, people, there are schemes for offensive linemen. I know that's hard to believe out there. But offensive linemen, you could do plays where the offensive guard, he goes into a passing set. But really, it could be a run play, and you could have taken J.J. Watt out of the game. If I was the Bears, I would do this. Left guard, pass set. J.J. Watt will think, oh, I'm going to do this, misdirection, Matt Forte to the other side. That way, you take J.J. Watt out of the play, or even trap J.J. Watt. Because when I'm watching film on J.J. Watt, this dude's a beast. There's no doubt about it. But what I've seen is when people run trap on him, that's where he gets in trouble. Because J.J. Watt likes to play going down the line. He doesn't read his keys. He doesn't look at the feet. He doesn't. He likes to bull rush his way to the quarterback. And that's one thing about J.J. Watt that could hurt him. J.J. Watt is a really good player, but a lot of people don't really look into the schemes of offensive and defensive line. There are schemes there. See, the thing is about the Chicago Bears, they need to make sure Jay Cutler is comfy for this game. They need to make sure that Jay Cutler has all the protection in the world to make sure he can get the ball to Brandon Marshall, get the ball to Devin Hester, get the ball to Forte, to Bush, whoever is the running back at the time. That's how the Bears are going to win this football game. This is going to be actually a huge test for the Bears defense. The Bears, the best offense they probably faced this year, I would say, is the Green Bay Packers. I think that's the best offense they faced this year. Detroit had somewhat, you could say, but the best offense they faced this year was the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers, they did all right. They did all right against the Bears. Like, they gave up the Bears gave up their the Carolina Panthers also gave the Bears a scare, but when you're playing with Cam Newton, it's different. I could discuss that later, but really, to be honest, it's going to be a huge test. Matt Schaub is a good quarterback. Arian Foster is a good running back. It's going to be a huge test for the Bears, and especially Owen Daniels. Bears struggle with the tight ends.
All right, well, to end our show, we do a little what about our team's discussion, where we basically talk about our frustration with our team, because basically, I'm a Titans fan, Chase is a Chargers fan. We will always be frustrated. So quickly, Chase, within 10 seconds, give me a rundown of how the Chargers are going to lose or win this week.
The San Diego Chargers are going to lose this week. Mainly, Doug Martin is rushing the football well. Josh Freeman is exceptionally throwing the football well. And not to mention, Phillip Rivers will throw his interception to old man Rondé Barber.
And for me, the Titans are going to get their ass kicked this week. Locker is coming back, which is, great, but this defense sucks. Fire Jerry Gray, our defensive coordinator. So for all the people here at BeforeTheKickoff.com, thanks for checking out our podcast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to check out our website, BeforeTheKickoff.com. Follow us on Twitter at BeforeKickoff. Like us on Facebook. For all of us here at Before the Kickoff, we're signing off. Holla at us, BeforeTheKickoff.com. We out.